Hello everyone, I am Alko1993. What is wrong with this image? I'll tell you, and it's related to RomHacks, because this is Petalburg City in Pokemon Emerald, and the Poké Center and the Pokemon are supposed to be swapped. I am making a Pokemon RomHack, and before I explain exactly the ideas I have for the RomHack, I already want to say that a good portion of the creation of this RomHack is what I intend to do on stream, on Twitch. So shortly after this video has gone live, I will be live on Twitch with the start of creating a RomHack. But it's a really big process, and a lot of things to do off stream as well. But I want to share initial ideas, and I want to definitely get feedback from you guys. So if you have ideas what you'd like to see in a Pokemon RomHack, Pokemon Emerald specific, because it's going to be using Pokemon Emerald as a base, definitely come to my Twitch. If you can't come to my Twitch, post them as a reaction in this video. What would you like to see? Both as just small changes to I want to see Zubat learn Gust at a low level, to really big things like I really like an area that looks like this that isn't in the main games. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see, then please let me know, preferably via Twitch, so we can discuss it live. I think that'd be really, really fun. I wanted to share some ideas with you what kind of RomHack I want to do. I have two ideas for RomHacks, because I've never done RomHacks before, but I have played quite a few of them. I'm not going to make a complete game from scratch. I'm going to use Emerald as a base, and there's two ideas I have at the moment. One, which I think is the idea that I'll be going with first, but maybe I'll work on the second one a little bit while I mainly work on the first one. First it is, I take the base game of Emerald, but well, I'll obviously make some changes to make it a proper RomHack. For example, a new starter trio. Pokemon games normally have grass, fire, water. There's other trios possible in Pokemon types that are super effective one way and not very effective another way. Let's see, Steel, Rock, Fire is one of them. But what I'm thinking of for this RomHack is to go Flying, Fighting, Rock. And so I have to come up with Pokemon like that, and I have ideas for starters. But maybe I want to alter the starter. For example, I want to go with Zubat as the flying starter, because I don't want it to be, let's say, a Pidgey, because then Fighting would immediately be normal effective against that Pokemon and not be resistant. I want it to be resisted. But then Pidgey, its first, in Generation 3 at least, its first flying move is Wing Attack at level 21. So do I just teach it Gust earlier? Gen 7, current Zubat, learns Wing Attack at level 4. But at 60 base power stat move for the type it's supposed to be, not sure I want that either. So I'd alter the movesets a little bit, because I can do that. How, you ask? Well, I'll give you a little bit of a preview. I have two different programs. One I've used a while ago. That's also how I made this one. I'll show that one in a second. And then this is a Pokemon game editor where I can change a bunch of things. For example, attacks. I can, if I, let's say, don't like the move Slam because of its 75 accuracy, I can just be like, it's 95 accurate, save, done. If I think Poison Sting should be stronger because I really don't like that Weedle or, let's say, Wurmple has a move like this, I can just be like, 30 power, done. If I feel that Solar Beam with Power Herb not existing in this game should be stronger to make it more worth it, you have to charge up, I can go Power 180. Done. I can change PPs, I can change how you select the target, whether it's affected by Mirror Move, Snatch, Magic Codes, anything like that. I can change it. I can make it from physical to special. So, something like, ooh, let's find a good one. What's a good example? Volt Tackle. Volt Tackle is such an example. Is it listed somewhere here? Not entirely sure. Volt Tackle, here it is. Volt Tackle. It is an electric type move, therefore in Gen 3 it is special. But I want to have the physical special split, so wait, it is already physical, even though it should be special in this game, because it's electric. Maybe I already changed it changed it before, but anyway, I want to introduce the physical special split in this game already. But some other moves I might slightly change to my liking. I won't change a lot because I don't want it to be too confusing when you play this. Speaking of playing this, when it's done, I'm not sure how I'll release it or if I'll release it at all. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I definitely will be playing through the entire game with friends, with other people, maybe some of you guys that want to play with me on streams. I think, well, let's say when I get to, let's say, Gym 2 and I've done everything up to Slateport City in this RomHack, then I might do a small playthrough on stream and then upload that to YouTube just to see what initial reactions are like for people who haven't seen or played it. So this way I can change moves, I can just contest data for moves, I can edit Pokemon. Now this is something I'm not going to touch much in this, just the base idea for the RomHack I'm going to do, but that's what I said, that's the base idea that I have now, is to use Emerald as a base, and then to, have different starter trios, have the gyms be different types. I want all the special important characters, gym leader for example, Scots appears in this game, so Scots, rivals, professor, to make them speak in a way that, or make them say certain things, believe in certain things that makes them stand out, but different to what they usually do. I want to change every person, maybe I'm not sure how much I want to do that, but definitely the important characters, I definitely want to change them. I don't want to go them over the top, like maybe you saw my Pokemon Oof gameplay on stream yesterday. They made Wally swear every sentence, and even though that made me laugh a lot, because that's definitely completely different than what Wally usually is, or Pokemon games usually are, I'm not going to do that. But I might make a gym that's full of people who continuously break the fourth wall. Like a gym of people who very much know that they are in a video game. I think that'd be really interesting. And one gym of people that just really like to watch anime and make a bunch of anime references. And other ways to make them really stand out. And I think are interesting ways that you generally don't see in Pokemon games. That's what I want to do. I wrote a few other things down. Let's see. Yeah, I might change the names of some of the characters. Maybe I'd name one of the gym leaders. Let's take Brawly, the second gym leader. Brawly, I might name him after Patrick from Pokemon Vortex. But I might also take a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer that I like, that I might use the name of, or take some kind of influence from. Now, I don't intend to edit the sprites, so if I, let's say, choose Jacksepticeye for Brawly, I'm not going to make Brawly's hair like green or a bit of green. I don't think I want to edit the sprites. If I edit the sprites, I'm only going to do them slightly, because I can do that as well somewhere, trainer editor. I can, for every trainer in the game, I can edit what they have, which is super interesting. The problem is all the grunts are just called grunt, and that's all the magma grunts, all the aqua grunts, and every time you meet them, so that can be really hard to tell apart without a specific knowledge of the coding. But the interesting thing is, not all of these trainers are even in here, because if you look at the very bottom, Red is in here, and Leaf is in here. I never see them in Emerald. Brendan is in here with a level 5 Groudon, and May is in here with level 5 Kyogre. You never encounter those. I even found like the boss of Team Aqua with a level 14 Shroomish. Huh? You never see that. But in that way, I could alter Pokemon, well, trainers and their Pokemon, and through a different program, I can also change the text things that they say. And I definitely intend to do that. I intend to change the team. So likely the first gym will not be a rock type gym. Maybe I'll make a later gym a rock type gym, but I probably change what the first one is. I'm currently thinking poison, but we'll see. Then I can all give them poison Pokemon and things of that. I'm gonna change some of the level up sets. As I said earlier with Zubat, I'll probably teach Zubat Gust, but also something like Leech Life. I really like what do I do with Gen 3 moves that were different in Gen 7? For example, Leech Life. Gen 3, it's just a 20 power move that's learned by, let's say, something like Spinarak and Zubat early on. Gen 7 was changed to an 80 power move. But obviously that's not at the start of a moveset, because that's too powerful. What do I do with that? Do I put it at the end of their level up set? Probably. What do I do at the start? Well, Gen 7 said, we'll just replace it with Absorb. And that seems like a good idea. However, if you remember back to my trio triangle of types, Flying, Fighting, Rock. Flying, which is what I intend to have with Zubat, should be not very effective against Geodude, the one I intend for Rock. Now, Geodude also being part ground from the start doesn't mess with any of the other types. Same with Zubat's poison type. However, if Zubat learns Absorb from the very start, then it's suddenly super effective against Geodude, the one it's supposed to not be good against, because Flying doesn't affect it very well. That it learns Absorb later on, that's fine. But I don't want that early on, so that's how I'll change Zubat's moveset. And I'll probably change the movesets of other Pokemon. Generally, you see that in, let's say, if you compare the Gen 5 level up sets of Mareep. Some of the moves that Mareep learns in Black and White compared to Black and White 2. In Black and White 2, Mareep might learn some of its moves a bit earlier, or maybe even some extra moves, because you can meet it in the game early on. While in Black and White, it was just a Pokemon that's programmed into the game and you can't encounter it. So things early on should have moves at certain levels that works with the flow of the game. So I do intend to alter some of that as well. That's sort of the base idea I have right now, but I only came up with this idea yesterday during the Pokemon Oof stream. So that's the base that I'm starting with. As for the second RomHack idea, which as I said we'll probably work on to the side of this first project, but at a very much slower pace, is I'm going to edit more. I'll change the areas more, like Poké Center, Mart. I'm not sure if I want to design completely new areas, because that's going to take so much more work, also with where you can walk and all the different tiles and moving from one area to the other. I think that'll be really difficult to do. If I really want to, then I might do that. Maybe I'll try and figure it out with some small little areas that I might add into that first project. But I definitely want to do a lot more in terms, let's say, take the Pokemon as a base. I'm going to take out some of the Pokemon, because I can do that. Where's the Pokemon editor? Pokemon editor, here. I said Pokemon editor. There we go. We already had that open. There's 386 Pokemon. And for some reason, Gen 3 is not all in the same order, so don't mind Chimecho being after Deoxys. But some of them don't really appear in Emerald anyway without trading, so those I might change. But I think for the second project, I'll change quite a lot of them. Maybe I'll keep some of them in. But I want to add in things from other series. Let's say Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters or Digimon. Let's say I might replace Charmander with Agumon. But then Agumon only evolves twice into Metal Greymon. Like Agumon, Greymon, Metal Greymon. And then I'd also change moves. Maybe even change the types of them. Maybe change Ember into Pepper Breath, which is Agumon's main attack. And that's how I'm thinking of changing some moves. And in that second project, I'll just completely change how some moves work and design a lot of them myself. Maybe keep the base of some already existing ones, but design a lot of new things myself. And then, yeah, as I said, I'm going to put in a lot of new Pokemon. I'm not just going to make them, oh yeah, Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's just really powerful, this giant dragon, it's cool. And it's going to be overpowered. I don't want that. I'll have some legendary Pokemon, sure. And then those will likely have high stats and be very useful. But even some legendary Pokemon, let's say Moltres, is competitively not very useful. So that might happen with that as well. I'm going to try and keep them balanced as the main Pokemon games are. But that's just going to be a learning curve and trying things out a bunch of times to make that work. And definitely, if I put those things in, I'm going to need a lot of sprite work and see how that works out. It's going to be a lot of trial and error because I have to learn a lot of new things. But it is something I am really excited about trying out. Now, something I do want to show is that other program. That is how would I change this? Well, this is how Petalburg's supposed to look like. Poké Center here, Mart here. Here I did change them around in that program that I showed. But if you go into the Mart... Oh, it's the Poké Center. And the other way around is the same. Now, you can change the city name. Maybe you just noticed I changed the city name. Something I noticed that, like, for example, I just decided to just change the tile in this house, even though it doesn't look good. I'll put a fridge there. But what I learned was, a different house in Oldale is this exact house, but just with different people. And they're copies of each other in the programming, because even though it changes for one house, it was also changed in that other house. So that's also things I'm going to learn, and I want to learn that with you. I want to learn that with you on stream while I decide on many things, while I make many of these changes, while I try them out. And I think it'll just be really cool to do that with you. As I said, some of it will be off-stream. I don't know how long this project will take, probably more than a year. But I want to take you all with me on part of this journey to creating a RomHack, because I think it'd be a really cool thing to do. And for example, we decide Beldum appears on this route. I don't. Maybe I'll decide that, maybe I don't. And something I can even do, that's something I realized, I think I even programmed that in, and I want to actually check that out later. Because I haven't actually done that yet. Is I can alter their evolution data. Because of Eevee, I think, in Emerald, there's 5 different evolutions, so Pokemon have 5 different ways to evolve. Now, let's look at Magikarp. Magikarp's evolution data is, through level, at level 20, it evolves into Gyarados. It doesn't have any other ways to evolve. Let's go with Machop. Machop's thing is level 28, Machoke. However, I added an evolution too. That in the specific ROM I'm using for this editor, Machop can, through use of a Water Stone, also evolve into Gyarados. 2 different ways to get Gyarados. So maybe in that second RomHack that I want to do with the Digimon, with Yu-Gi-Oh! Mons, with whatever else we come up with, not just me, but you can also give the suggestions, I can make multiple Pokemon, or creatures in this case, become the same one, but through a different kind of, like, evolution, through different methods. And I think that'd be cool to see how we can come up with that. How normally in Pokemon you're used to one just becomes the next and becomes the next. Maybe you can, like, cross-evolve. Maybe there's, like, 2 3-stage evolution lines that both have the same middle one. And then they don't necessarily have to go up like that, but they can also cross and become the other one's final evolution. I can come up with so many different things for this, and I'm so excited to do it. So if you're excited to see this, please let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see in either of the RomHacks, but especially the first one, the one that does use the base Pokemon. If you have suggestions for that, please let me know. And please come to my Twitch. I'm not going to stream this every time, but definitely after this video is live, come to my Twitch channel, because I will be live either at that moment or very soon to try out new things. This is going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun to mess with the game, change different things, and catch, let's say, a Duskull at the first route, to have the first fights against the level 2 Zigzagoon be against the, I don't know, a PG. So many things we can change, and I'm excited to change these things with you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll hopefully see you on Twitch very soon. Goodbye.